Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. I was not planning on filming any reading vlogs until Bookathon starts in like a week, but I'm in the middle of some books right now. They're making me feel some type of way, and my next recent reads is already going to be too long, so I decided I'm going to start it off for you. Two of the books that I'm in the middle of right now that I want to talk about are The Charade by Judy Corey. I forget what percentage of way I am through that, but I have like 2 hours left of reading that. And then I'm reading A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard. I have some things to say. So one, The Charade. Last night I was sitting in bed reading it. Literally, I had to stop and keep like fake screaming out loud because I'm pretty sure the author is working towards this plot twist. Like, she's very obviously making it try to seem some type of way, like a City of Bones type of plot twist. If you know, you know. And I'm furious about the idea, like furious, but there's no way now that that's not going to be the case. So either she's messing with my emotions in a way I do not appreciate, or she's just deciding to write a trope that I literally hate. So we have to stick around and find out what happens, but I'm losing my mind over that one. And then this was slow going at first. I was really intrigued by the concept because this is about a girl who has selective mutism and like a ton of anxiety. And then this guy shows up at her school and he's deaf. And since she knows a little British Sign Language, the principal introduces them to each other, or I guess headmaster, they're in England. Anyway, the guy in charge of the school introduces them, they become friends, and they maybe become something more. And I was walking around the track today reading this and I'm getting to the good part. I'm getting to the good part. So I took some footage to show you what kind of facial reactions I was making as I was walking around the track. Like, everybody could see me making these faces, and I was like burying my face in the book. I'm losing my mind. Fun story about this one. One of my writing projects that I wrote, yeah, it was the summer before my junior year of high school. The main male character in that is deaf. They're still very different, but like I'm appreciating reading it because I had some questions about how I wanted to write things, and I think this is helping like clarify it in my head. It's also just reminding me of those characters, and those characters make me very happy. But yeah, they're very different, but that's why I picked it up, is because the premise like reminded me of my characters. So I'm actively losing my mind in a good way over this. And at first when I was walking around the track today, I was like, even if I'm loving it this much right now, I don't know if I can justify giving it 5 stars at the end of reading it, because the beginning was like just okay. And like the writing's maybe not my favorite type of writing, but I'm gonna go strictly off of vibes and feelings, and right now it's promising. So if I keep feeling this type of way about it, she might be a 5-star. The Charade will not be. That is like a fake dating situation with her tutor. She's a twin, which makes it double weird for me. I don't know, it's hard to describe, and it wouldn't seem like my style, but it is a YA romance, and I'm just really losing my mind over this potential plot device. So let's keep reading. I read like 20 more minutes of The Charade this morning, and a really cheesy scene happened. I was like rolling my eyes. It was that cheesy, but at the same time I was smiling, so I don't know what that tells you about me. She loves cheese, that's why she's vegetarian, not vegan. I finished A Quiet Kind of Thunder, is that what it's called? I sadly did not give it 5 stars, I gave it 4. There was a bit in the middle that like lagged a bit, or was just a bit weird pacing wise, and then some things I didn't really like near the end. So I felt like I could not give it 5 stars, but overall a really wonderful experience. Like, I really loved the book, and it had lots of great representation between like the deaf character and the anxious main character and all of those things. It's a great book, and I had a good time reading it. It made my heart happy, and I learned some things about what I do and do not want to do with my writing project. So that's good. I've made like a little more progress in The Charade, but not much. I'm really just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Hopefully I'll read more of it tonight and I'll fill you in. So I just hit the 75% mark of The Charade, and the rating is plummeting quickly. So I think what the author did was like, so she's just pulled a City of Bones plot twist If you know, you know. And then I think we're going to get the plot twist from book 3 of the Mortal Instruments series shortly. Any minute now, truly. And it seems like this is the primary conflict of the book, which is hilarious and weird and not good. And it's being drawn out in like such a ridiculous way. Like, it's bad in the Mortal Instruments, this particular plot device, if you will, but I think it's even worse here, to be honest with you. So that is not good. But I'm gonna get back to reading because I'm in the middle of a reading sprint. I'm watching some reading sprints, so I'm gonna get back to it. I just finished the charade and I'm giving it 2 stars. Listen. The idea of that thing being a plot point was upsetting, and so I was feeling things. And then it actually happened, and the execution was somehow even worse than like the trope itself. And then it got resolved, except not really. Because, okay, I'm just going to spoil it for you. So basically, it was like being foreshadowed and foreshadowed and foreshadowed, hinted at. Maybe the love interest and the main character were half siblings. Okay. That's why I said City of Bones, right? And I was like, this foreshadowing is so strong, it has to be like a misleading thing. And I was right, but we got to a point where they were like, are we half siblings? And then they were having a crisis, obviously. It turns out that no, they were not half siblings. However, the main character turned out to be half siblings with one of the other people at her school, which is still a little awkward because her twin sister, even though she never acted on those feelings, had a crush on that person. So it was still weird in the end. It was still incredibly weird. And it was so, this trope was so drawn out. Like, it's rehashed in the Mortal Instruments series like a lot, but for some reason this felt even worse, especially because this was like the main plot, it felt like. Like, I was going into this book expecting enemies to lovers, fake dating, realness, and then all of a sudden the entire plot was taken over by this, and it was just alarming, infuriating. I don't know. It was, I had an interesting time reading it, but I'm not sure I'd say I had a good time reading it. So 2 stars it is, and it's done now. So that's that. I don't know how I feel right now. Okay.
It's not set in a font. What?
All right, it's Saturday, like early afternoon, and I'm halfway through On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden, so I wanted to catch you up on how I'm feeling. It is a graphic novel, and so I was a little worried, but I knew I liked the concept. It's told in dual timelines, but basically revolves around the story of this girl called Mia and her first love, who she met at boarding school, Grace, and it's set in space, and it also revolves around like a large found family trope, lots of LGBTQIA plus representation in this. And so far at the 50% mark, I'm really having a good time. I think one thing that's making this particular graphic novel experience good is that I'm really forcing myself to take in the art. I feel like sometimes because graphic novels are such quick reads, I'm always focused on how fast I can read it, and I think that detracts from my ability to enjoy. I also am just really enjoying the art style in this, but ever since becoming obsessed with Heartstopper, I've been thinking about graphic novels differently, and so I've been really challenging myself with this one, and so far I think it's working out great. It also helps that it's more of a plot line that like I like versus say Paper Girls. So far so good. It's Saturday night and I finished On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. It was so queer and so spacey and so found family and just had so many good things in it. And yes, it's long, but I feel like because of that, it was able to have some of the substance that sometimes I feel like some graphic novels lack. Like, yes, it was still a quick read, but like not so quick that I didn't, like, I felt like there was a complete story in here and like fleshed out characters, and I don't always feel that way in graphic novels. So yeah, I gave this 4 stars, really enjoyed it. Now I'm watching some reading sprints with Kayla and Ruby, making progress in some other reads, but I wanted to tell you about this. I loved it. Happy Sunday. Today, Bailey is doing spinner wheel sprints all day, so am I. It's approaching 9 a.m. here, and we're about to read for 20 minutes. So I'm going to pick up my nonfiction for the day and get to it. It's the 31st at night. I wanted to catch you up. I don't think I had any reading really to catch you up on finished books. I did read a lot that day when Bailey was doing spinner wheel sprints, but I was going back and forth between things. A lot of it was for the August challenge that's now done that I did with my sister. So I was reading lots of nonfiction and stuff, and I was posting about all that on my Instagram stories. So if you want a recap of what I read for that, you can check out the highlight on my Instagram, information link down below. But I don't really have anything else reading related to say, and tomorrow I'm going to start my Bookathon vlog. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Do you always end the month in the middle of several books? Or even just one book? Or are you done waiting for the next month to start anything else? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!